Are you looking for a deeper understanding of life? Vedanta Wisdom Trust and Rishihood University present Awakening Wisdom, Insights on Life from the Bhagavad Gita. Join us for a 1-month residential certificate course and explore the timeless wisdom of the Gita. You will be part of a vibrant learning community, exploring the ancient teachings of the Vedantic tradition in a modern setting. Our experienced faculty will guide you with their unique approach towards understanding this complex philosophical text. This is your chance to discover and experience the power of the Bhagavad Gita. Join us at Rishihood University starting 1st July 2023. Visit www.vedantawisdom.in to know more. Are you looking to explore the depths of the ancient wisdom of the Bhagavad Gita? Join us this July at Rishihood University for our 1-month residential certificate course titled Awakening Wisdom, Insights on Life from the Bhagavad Gita. Our course will guide you through the text of the Gita, exploring its philosophy and practical applications for everyday life. Learn from Dr. Janki Santok, senior disciple of Swami Parthasarathi, with over 3 decades of experience in the field, and deepen your understanding of the truths of life. Don't miss this opportunity to experience the magic of this timeless wisdom for yourself. Visit www.vedantawisdom.in to know more.
Sahana bhavatu, Sahana bhunaktu, Sahaviryam karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We have been looking into the qualities of an enemy, so that we will understand for ourselves how much we are actually doing what we need to do. The most difficult part often in the sadhana is we don't know when we are stagnating. So many of you may look at it and say, okay, we have most of these qualities or something like that. Okay, I'm doing okay on these qualities. But the point is not whether we are doing okay on these qualities or not. The point is,
if you're moving forward,
that we are moving forward with these qualities, that we're able to see more with reference to them. We are all, the sad part in Vedanta is that You come to Vedanta, sometimes you're upset about something. Maybe you're not even upset about anything, you just want to understand something. And then you come, then you understand, and you know, the whole thing starts making sense. And then you feel you know how to handle things, and you're very happy with life. And you think, okay, what do I need anything more? I'm good. And that's the worst thing, because we don't realize that that's a very impermanent thing. When I look at people who are long-term students of Vedanta, the one thing that is most striking is how people are stagnating and they have no idea they're stagnating. Stagnation is okay. That happens on the path. That's not a problematic thing. The problematic thing is we don't know we're stagnating. It's not, our growth is not going to be like, you know, like every year in April we pass and then we go to the next class. It doesn't work like that. We do stagnate. That's a fact of life. But we don't know we are stagnating. Or when we are stagnating, we don't realize the cause of that stagnation. Those are the signs. So when we look at these qualities, it is not so that we can pat ourselves on the back and say, oh yeah, I'm okay with these, but to see how much I can progress with these things. Each time do I understand it a little more? Am I able to see myself living it a little more? So if you look at each quality, what beautiful qualities, humility. What is true humility? Humility is nothing but valuing the right things. When we have wrong values in this world, we become arrogant. We lose our humility. What is there in this world to be arrogant about? The body, mind, intellect, and therefore everything associated with it is so finite, so limited, so impermanent. If I'm the world's most beautiful woman, can I guarantee I'll be the most beautiful woman tomorrow? Or that I'll even be beautiful tomorrow? Forget most beautiful. If I'm the world's most strong person, can I guarantee that my body will be this strong tomorrow? There's nothing. Everything is impermanent. Everything is Shanabhangur. It's there for a moment. Enjoy it while it's there, because it's not going to last that much. Or we don't know how much it's going to last. So when we have wrong values in life, we start becoming arrogant about it. For people who are doing their sadhana, it may even become things like, I do my duty, or I do the right thing. It's again wrong values, because we don't get that even our concept of what is our duty is extremely frail, extremely frail. Our comprehension can be so much better. Like, see a man, when you see something lower than you, it's very easy to understand. Let us say there's a man, he earns money, you know, he looks after his family, he's very caring towards his family, he even helps his wife in housework. He's a very good husband, he's a very caring husband, he takes care of him, the family, earns well, does all these things. He takes them for holidays, he does everything that, you know, you'd hope that the husband would do. And he can feel very content that he's done his duty. But has he? In this attempt of looking after his family, has he even considered his community, his nation, humanity? Have these thoughts at least come to him? He will compare himself to an alcoholic who beats up his wife and takes all her money. Yes, he's better than that kind of husband. But he's very far away from having done his duty. Because our duty is not merely to our family. We have a duty to our city, to our community, to our nation, to humanity, to all living creatures, to our own self. What about those duties? Why are they never prioritized? Why are they never important? So when we have wrong values, we develop an absence of humility. We give importance to things that ought not to be given so much importance to. The only person who gives the right importance to things is a man of realization. The rest of us are merely, you know what we are giving importance to when we call it duties? We are merely prioritizing our
Desires.
our attachments. Wherever we are attached, we claim that is our duty. We can't see anything. All of that comes in absence of humility by the way. Even with arrogance, I do my duty. I'm a very good person. No, you don't. No, you don't means, of course you are. Nobody denies that. But there is so much more. Unpretentiousness. Do not pretend to be something you are not. Why do we pretend to be something we are not?
Same answer. We have attributed wrong value to things.
Okay, so in this case, what? Why are we pretentious? Why do we try to show we are bigger and more than what we are?
Quoting lower values.
Okay, but in this,
Complexes.
because we suffer from a common human ailment, which is
लोग क्या सोचेगा?
Complex. Inferiority or superiority complex.
which is valuing the opinions of others. It's a very common human weakness. It's usually one of the last things to go, really, because the opinion of others is assumed to be an intellectual one. So, it's considered the subtler one, but it's not. Nobody has an intellect enough to have a good opinion or a bad opinion of us, because they have no data, they have no capacity to think. What opinion? Why does that opinion even matter? Yet it does. What will people say is one of the worst things. It puts terror into a person's heart. And therefore comes the need for pretentiousness. So a need for pretentiousness means need for pretending to be better, bigger, greater, nobler than I am. Because I care so much about what other people will think. Animals don't care, no? Animals live a very natural life. They are what they are. Neither do they comment on their friends, neither that they are worried about what the friends will comment. Only humans have this problem. What will they say? What is my neighbor saying? What is my friend saying? What the other saying something. So pretentiousness arises because of the deep need for the good opinion of others. And this deep need for the good opinion of others arises out of
Like giving their opinions more value than it deserves.
That arises out of
lack of awareness of ourselves.
the lack
Inferiority complex, Vedanta ji.
Okay, it arises out of a lack of self-sufficiency. Not self-sufficient. And therefore, it's very important what you think of me. Because my happiness depends on what you think of me. When I am self-sufficient, now my happiness doesn't depend on what you think of me. Happiness doesn't depend means I don't get affected unnecessarily. Now suppose Elsie says, you are a very short person. Suppose she says. Suppose she tells Momita, Momita, you're a very short person. What should Momita do?
Think.
What should Momita do?
It is your opinion. I respect.
Well, I don't know. Momita, what should you do? Someone said, you are a very short person.
I don't think I am short, but maybe in some cultures I could be considered short.
The easy thing to do is go and take your measurement.
Yeah.
That's it.
Janki ji,
What?
compared to giraffe, I am short. I am short. No doubt. Where is the doubt?
Correct. So go take your measurement. Okay, suppose we say that Momita is now 5'5". I don't know how tall she is. I'm just making up these stories, okay? Suppose she is 5'5". Then she should say, I am 5'5". Short, tall, all of these are opinions, right? I am 5'5". This is a fact. So if people tell you something, go and verify the fact. Is this fact? Is it a fact? If it is a fact, well, it is a fact. That's that. And if it's not a fact, well, it's not a fact. Simple, right? It's not that we say, oh, we don't say, that is your opinion. I don't care about you. We don't need to say that. We need not say, oh my God, you think I'm short? What shall I do? Should I get heels? Baba, you don't need to do anything. Just first verify your fact. And having verified the fact, decide now what you want to do about it. But what will people do? They'll go to their room, they'll start crying, oh, she said, I am short. She said, I am short. Let her say you are short, somebody else will say you are tall. Suppose she goes to Congo and she meets all the pygmies over there. The pygmies will think some giant has come. If she goes to the Scandinavian countries, all big Thor and all are there, then they will say what a pygmy she is. So is she a pygmy or is she a giant? Neither. She's 5'5". I mean, I'm just making this up, okay? I'm not talking about Momita's height. I have no idea what it is. So, I hope you're following the line of thought. Pretentiousness arises because of
Lack of self-sufficiency.
We'll go step by step. Pretentiousness arises out of
Valuing others' opinions.
Opinions of others.
we are dependent on the opinions of others. So therefore, we have to show ourselves greater, bigger, nobler, higher. Now, why are we dependent on the opinions of others?
Because we're not self-sufficient.
Because we are not self-sufficient. So now, what do? We are not self-sufficient. Chalo, that is a fact. What do? Minimum we should do is
See the facts.
find the facts. At least that much you don't know. I should know about myself. I am 5 feet tall. I am 103 kgs. Whatever you know about yourself. I tend to get angry. I tend to be lazy. Suddenly I wake up and I get jhatkas and I start doing something. But I don't sustain that, whatever it is I started doing. Something, we have to know these facts about ourselves. And when we know these facts, and then people say something, you just find out, is it true or is it false? I am neither crying nor rejoicing because of what someone else says. If I neither cry nor rejoice at what somebody else says, then I am what is known as Megha. I am known as what?
Unpretentious.
I'm known as a self-sufficient being. Megha, your first class? First time. Welcome to the class. How did you know about the class?
Yes, I joined the group recently.
I can't hear you.
I joined the group, WhatsApp group. Through
No,
that
but
I
how
came
did
to
you know
know.
about the WhatsApp group? Who told you? Your friend is in this class?
No.
So, Now, when we are very, very concerned with the opinions of others, the end result is we are trying to show ourselves to be something that we are not. And this can make our life hell. A Gnani is not concerned with that. He is concerned with one word answer, please. He is concerned with Gnani, with facts. Very good. A Gnani is concerned with facts. Right? And he deals with facts. He doesn't deal with opinions. Therefore, he is not a pretentious being. He is not dependent on your opinion. Why is he not dependent on your opinion? He is self-sufficient. How does he become so self-sufficient? He's attuned to facts. He deals with them. Suppose Deepraj knows that 2 plus 2 is 4. And then Megha tells him 2 plus 2 is 22. Will he say, oh, you know, Megha said it's 22. What shall I do? What shall I do? Shall I write 22 in my exams? Will you write 22 in your exam? Suppose he goes to IIT and he says 2 plus 2 is 22. Then this IIT will say, hey Bhagwan, humne kya kiya, isko kyun liya? We don't deal with people's opinions, but we do deal with facts. And people's opinions should be investigated only with the view to find out, is there a fact? If there's a fact, I will deal with it. Mr. Chanwani, you wanted to ask a question?
No, madam.
Okay. All right, so non-pretentious.
Jangiri, there's a question on the chat.
There is? I thought I just looked. I didn't see anything. Where is the question? I don't see a question. Am I missing something? There's Deepraj who says nowadays people even go to the other extreme where they won't take constructive criticism. Ashya Bagai, not knowing oneself. Smile. Ashya is one solution to all problems. I don't see a question. Do you all see a question?
No, sorry, that was it.
No. Harmlessness. What a beautiful quality, harmlessness. To wish the welfare of everybody. To always want that nobody is harmed, nobody has anything bad happening to them. Sarve sukhi bhavantaha. Sarve niramaya. Everybody's happy. Everybody's free of all ills, all ailments. Sarve bhavanta sukhena. It is a quality of spiritual development. Always want the welfare of. However, the world being what it is, there is some good stuff, there is some bad stuff. And the bad stuff cannot be allowed to take over the good stuff. Whether that's in our personality, whether it's that in our society, anywhere. So it becomes necessary at times that we are causing harm. Like a doctor, every time he gives you antibiotics, he's causing harm, right? He's causing harm. It's called antibiotics. You are trying to kill those poor creatures. You're causing harm. But when the doctor gives you antibiotics, his intention is not to cause harm. His intention is to protect you. And therefore that action becomes ahimsa. When Krishna tells Arjuna to fight the war, he wishes the welfare of both the Kauravas and the Pandavas. But because he wishes the welfare of the country, the Kauravas will have to be killed. That is ahimsa. Ahimsa is not a passive acceptance of all negative things in this world. It is the wish for non-harm for all. And sometimes you have to take a difficult choice, right? So either you kill the bacteria or you kill the human being. You have to choose one of these two. Do you realize how grateful we should be to those antibiotics? Everybody talks so badly about antibiotics nowadays. We've forgotten that most of us will not actually be alive if there were no antibiotics. The discovery of antibiotics has extended the life of humans. And yet we go on saying how bad they are, how bad they are, how bad they are. Of course, we sometimes abuse them. We use them when we shouldn't be using them. All that is true. But the fact is, if you had not had antibiotics at the time when you should have had them, we would all be dead today. So those antibiotics, though they are killing, they are protecting. That's called ahimsa. Now, don't any one of you all say what the bad effects of antibiotics on the body, okay? That's not part of this discussion. This is an example to talk about how ahimsa is the intent of the welfare of all. Sometimes because of that intent, some parts, some segments will require to be harmed. That's just how it is in this world. Otherwise, the whole structure will collapse. In other words, you don't take antibiotics and our average age will go back to 35. You know, there was a time where the mortality was, the age was 35. You go back there. So how did you prevent harm? From 35, you now come to 75, 73 or something. Amazing thing. So harmlessness is not a passive acceptance of wrong. It is the desire for the welfare of Momita. It's like amputating a limb to save the person. When we cause harm with a good intention. Yes, good example, amputation of a limb. If a person has diabetes and he gets gangrene in his foot, we'll have to cut the foot. What option do you have? Because if you don't cut that foot, the person will die. So, ahimsa has been largely misunderstood. Don't cause harm, don't cause. Sometimes in life you don't get that option. Imagine, why will we want to kill all the poor bacteria? But if the bacteria is killing me, I will have to take some action, right? So, sometimes the option doesn't exist of not causing harm. So you choose whatever causes less. Forgiveness. Another beautiful quality of an objective person. An objective person is always a forgiving person because he understands a basic law of life. And that law is
People act
People will
according to the
behave
nature.
according to the vasanas.
very good. Every being acts according to his or her vasana. You should write that down and memorize that line and never forget it. Put it on your compact mirror. Do I have a compact mirror? Do people use compacts nowadays? Megha, you know what a compact is? Yes, you know. Okay, so there must be. But she's so young. I remember many years ago, everybody used to have this compact. Like a little. Deepa, do you know what a compact is? It is a sort of, it used to be at least some round thing with a little powder and powder puff, and then every now and then you have to take out your compact and go tuck, 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 tuck. Okay. And the women, you'd often see women do that. They take out their compact and go tuck, 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 tuck. And nowadays, I don't think I see this anymore. So they used to always carry that. And that had the sort of, it was a foldable thing, like our phones, or not our phones nowadays, old phones also. They used to fold, right? So you open it like that. And then here is the powder, and here is, very good, thank you.
Had it handy, some years old, 20-year-old thing.
Nobody uses it. I don't see people taking it out now. Okay, so that's a compact. So there's a mirror in it. So wherever, yeah, there's a mirror and there's a little powder puff, yeah. And so it's still used, okay. So now put it on that compact, because people look at their mirrors very often. Put it over there. What is the law we have to all know and know it by heart? In our dreams, if I ask you, what is the law? You should be able to say. Every being functions according to his cosmos. Such a significant thing to understand. Because when you see somebody throw they eat chips and they throw it out of their car. And you look at it and you get angry. You say, mad people or what? You have a car now with you. Can't you keep it in the side pocket? And when you go home, you take it and throw it. Or your cleaner can throw it. No, can't you throw it on the road? Then you think to yourself, every being acts according to his vasanas. If you have got a manda buddhi, you will behave like a manda buddhi. Do you have an option to behave otherwise? A buffalo, suppose it's a beautiful garden, lovely flowers, and a buffalo somehow gets in there. You think that buffalo will try to avoid the flowers and make sure that the garden is not troubled? No, he'll walk all over the flowers. He has no idea there's a flower there. There are many buffaloes among human beings. They have no idea what is there. No flowers they can see, nothing they can see. They go storm, 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 storm. If your emotions happen to lie on the way, storm, 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 storm. They don't care that you have emotions. They don't care anything. They don't know. It's not like they don't care. They don't know your emotions are being hurt. They don't know anything. When you see the buffalo, you say, all beings function according to their vasanas. That understanding is forgiveness. Because if that buffalo could understand, he wouldn't do it. He's doing it means he doesn't understand. The scary thing is that we are the buffalo. Yes. It's a good idea to always remember that as well. That very often we are going storm, storm, and we have no idea. Absolutely no idea. Like in a Zoom class, suddenly somebody's camera comes on, or they get unmuted, and we see things or hear things that really none of us wish to either see or hear. Bharat used to have a lot of trouble in the beginning, because when people were not used to this thing, they would put on their cameras, and he used to feel embarrassed. So he used to switch everybody's camera off. So people don't know. They just don't know. Just like we don't know the rubbish we are doing. Other people don't know the rubbish they are doing. Forgiveness is the quality of knowing. Guna guneshu varpunte iti matva sachate. Guna guneshu varpunte. The gunas live in the gunas. Or in less technical terms, each person behaves according to their vasanas. Iti matva. Having understood this, having considered this, no sachate is not attached. Just understood this once and for all. 90% of our headache in this world will go we understand.
This also helps with a lot of self-hatred, because people are always regretting their past actions.
Yes. 90% of our problems will go, we do just understand. Every being functions according to their vasanas. When those were my vasanas, correct me, Raj, when those were my vasanas, that is what I did. These are my vasanas, this is what I do. Tomorrow, if I manage to make myself new vasanas, then that is what I will do. Uprightness. Uprightness. This word only doesn't exist anymore. Nobody talks about it. It doesn't exist. What shall we call it today? In Sanskrit, the word is very beautiful. The word is Arjavam. Arjavam means, in today's language, I suppose we could call it being genuine or being authentic, being true to yourself. Now, this being true to oneself is not so easy as we think. Being true to oneself means you have, many people believe being true to oneself, I'll do what I like. Who are you to tell me? That is not being true to oneself. Being true to oneself is actually a lot of hard work. First and foremost, we have to be able to decide which of our vasanas are deep and which are superficial. Every one of us has deep vasana, superficial vasana. Superficial vasana means suddenly this pops up, suddenly that pops up. It doesn't last for very long. They are bubbles. They come and go. Like children, a child, have you ever seen a child? The child, something hurts the child. Then the child goes, oh, it's like that, will start. Then you tell the child, see that crow, see that crow. And then the child starts laughing. What kind of emotion is this? That in 1 second it goes like that. There's no depth there. There's all superficial stuff going on. Similarly with us. Every once in a while something pops up in our head. There's no depth in that thing. Just a superficial thought. If you just wait for a minute, it'll be gone. So we have to know what is our deep vasanas. Those which are more inherent to us. Because those are the vasanas I really have to do something about. I don't have to worry about all these bubbles that pop up and go away. To figure out what those deep vasanas. Okay, that's number one. Then I need to figure out, amongst my vasanas, what am I going to make as my goal? What is my aspiration? Then I've got to figure out what is the methodology I intend to use to reach that goal. Then I need to figure out what are the likely impediments I'm going to face in this methodology and in this goal. And having considered all this, I then fix what I'm going to now start doing. That behavior is called being authentic. Not just I felt like doing it, so I did something. Or this is, I like it. It's a big, it's not that simple, really. That's why it's one of the qualities of an Gnani. It has to start being authentic, has to take into consideration not just your nature, but your goal, your methodology, your possible impediments, so many things. And then you have decided that the right action for me is this one. That easy. It's so much work. And when you're able to do that, that's authenticity, that is genuineness, that is an ethical life, that is uprightness, whatever word you want to use. Service to the present. Service to the teacher. Service to the teacher because what our teacher, what the Guru gives us is something we can never repay. We can never give something back which will be equivalent to what we have received. And the teacher doesn't require anything from us. So what are you going to do now? You have nothing to give and he has nothing to ask. So what are you going to do? So to serve the teacher means to serve the cause. To work in alignment for something bigger, greater, faster. What, Bharat? I didn't understand.
No, we listed the steps of being true to oneself, right? So just wondering if this is the right order.
Essential and non-essential. Okay. Better call it deeper vasanas and superficial vasanas, because essential and non-essential today you may understand. And then later on you will have this question in your own mind that what makes something essential and what makes some vasana non-essential. Like for instance, should I get married? Is this an essential vasana or not an essential vasana? You'll have these questions as you do it later on. So better use the word deep vasanas and superficial vasanas, because even later on when you come back to this one day, when you're thinking about it, you remember. Then yes, then goal, correct. Then methodology, correct. Then impediments, correct. Then right action, no. This, based on this, you will have your decision on what to do, no? You can't say that is right action. Or you mean execute the action. Okay, execute the action, then that's all. So how do you choose the right action? Based on the four. And if your final point is then actually do it, then yes, that's also true. I assume that you will do it having done all this work.
Yes.
Yes, so it's correct.
Thank you.
These things. So service to the preceptor is service to the cause. Service to the cause can come at different, what should I say, grades? I don't know how to put it. One kind of service is you say, look, I have 2 hours a week and I will give you 2 hours a week. Okay, so that's one thing. Or I can do what? I can make what? I can do Facebook promotion. And you do Facebook promotion. Okay, whatever. So this is the lower grade. The higher grade is I am dedicated to the cause, which means I will do what it takes to make that thing happen. Not I will do it when it's suitable, when it's convenient. I will give you 2 hours. Giving this what are you doing? Giving you 2 hours. Working for a cause means doing what is required to make sure it happens. Not says I'm bored with this now. This is not inspiring me anymore. You will keep at it. That is true service. Not service, okay, 2 hours I will give you. This I will give you. That I will give you. Nobody wants this thing from us. We are doing service to, what should I say, purify our personality. Or in the case of this service to the preceptor, to give back for what we have received. Because this whole concept of gimme, 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 gimme is what we are trying to get rid of from our life. Deep Raj is the difference between understanding the importance of the cause versus not understanding the importance of the cause. Yes, correct. The difference. It's a, I don't know how to put it. It's like people who do volunteer service at a service institution, so they say, okay, I have 2 hours on Saturday, so I will go there and be there for 2 hours on Saturday. that is very different from the people who, what should I say, who are dedicated to that cause. They are going to be doing that. They don't have the luxury of saying, okay, whatever I can do in 2 hours, I will do. And then if it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen. They will stay up all night because that has to happen. There's a difference between. So when we talk of service, service has to be like it will get it. I will do this, meaning it will get done. Not, I will do it if it is suitable, if it is convenient, if I have the time. It will get done. And if, I try this way, it didn't work, then I try that way, that didn't work, I try that way, but this job will get done. Yeah, Momita.
So we need motivation initially, and then that motivation helps us to see the importance of the cause. But is that correct?
No, it's the importance of the cause straight away. In this case, when you talk about service to the preceptor, it is the gratitude to the teacher that is making a person do something. Okay, so in this case, in this particular case, it is like that. But
Yes.
now the teacher doesn't need anything from you. Neither you have anything to give to the teacher, which will compensate for what you have received. Now, what can you do? Therefore, it means that you work for that cause.
I was asking more from the point of the levels we reach in the service of the preceptor. So we often stagnate at a lower level because we feel that, oh, I'm doing enough. And sometimes we feel, oh, I need to be motivated more. So, but we should. But how do we address this need for motivation?
Just by the study itself. As we understand, generally speaking, I'm talking in the context of Vedanta now, okay? So if we understood that if we want to serve this world, if we want to create maximum benefit for the maximum number of creatures on this planet, then this is the only way. If you've understood this, then why would you do anything else? Those who don't understand this will do something else. No? We're talking about a cause, right? So if you realize that I could maybe look after orphans or tigers, or who did we get? Cheetahs. And the poor cheetahs are also dying. So we can get all of this stuff, look after them. And it's like filling a bucket with a hole in it. Once you've figured this much out, then as a person interested in serving the world, which other cause will be there that will cause maximum benefit to maximum number of? Like for every one person who attends the Vedanta class or studies Vedanta, how many people are benefited? Your sons don't attend the class. You attend the class. Do they not get the benefit of you attending the class? So if you say, for every one person who learns, at least 5 people of their family are benefited, how many people are we talking about? But that's not what happens. What happens is that, the identification grows. So each person does more for more people. In the sense, I doubt whether there's anybody in this class who eats a packet of chips and then throws it out the window. I doubt there's any such person in this class. If there is, they will stop doing it. Right? So the damage that we as humans are causing to nature, we will simply reduce. Like Uttara. Now I'm just happen to look, okay, and I see the front page with these names. Uttara is very particular about plastic. She and her sons are very, very particular. They do something for conservation of plastic. How much? Nobody knows what they're doing. But how much damage to the environment is being saved? Different people are doing different things. I mean, each one is doing his own thing. Now, Kalyan is working in his organization. He looks after HR. Now, he has these concepts in his head. Do you not think that everybody below him in his organization will benefit from these concepts? Whether it is prevention of damage, whether it is creation of benefit, once you've got it, you will work for this. Now, how do you get it? How do you get it, everybody? How do you get it?
Boring studies.
Ah, see, why do you ask me any question? You know all the answers. When you study and understand the greatness of the subject that we are in, we have been fortunate enough to come in contact with. And fortunate probably because we were fortunate enough to be born in this country. Because in this country, it's easy access. Like when we went to France, and this was spoken about, those people are astounded. Here, nobody's astounded. And they say, oh yeah, okay, Vedanta is good, these are nice. Most people are astounded. They're like, oh my God, what is this thing? What is, they don't know what, where is this coming from? What is this thing? In India, we are not surprised like that. We just take it like other buffaloes, we take this also. So it's normal for us. But for them, it's like, oh, this explains everything. I never thought of this explanation. Talk like that. They don't know. They are not exposed to this idea. But Indians, and thank God 1/6 of the world is Indians, have got exposure. So we are not like taken aback, So we are very fortunate that we are here and we have access to this knowledge, and we should be the flag bearers to let the whole world know that this thing exists. So once all this is clear to us, then we're going to work. How do you be motivated? You will be clear about this. That's why I saw that Swami Chinmayananda, he had that wonderful talk, right? So good. And he, of course, has a very good way of putting it. So he said, look, you guys, he spoke at some Rotary or Lion, I don't know which where he said, see, you don't worry about saving the world. You're not saving the world, you're saving yourself. If you go and mess up the environment, you think the environment is going to cry? Who's going to die if you mess up the environment? That's who's going to die. You're saving yourself. You better sort yourself out if you want to save yourself. You must have heard it, right? I told Bharat to put it on the group. I'm sure most of you all know that heard it. And so, therefore, the greatest service we can ever do is self-development. So you see how the loop forms? What is the service I can do maximum help to other people is Vedanta. For me to be able to do that, what do I do? Vedanta. So it's almost like everything becomes one thing. Whether I'm looking to improve myself, whether I'm looking to save the world, whether I'm looking to whatever, becomes the one answer to all problems. Knowledge is the one answer to all problems. Once this is clear, why would anyone do anything else? Now Nilanjan, I think he wants to become an actor. So what kind of an actor will he be? He will do whatever it will be to improve the world. In what way, I don't know. There's no way I can, anyone, neither he nor we can predict what he will do in that field that will create benefit for so many people. But as he grows with this knowledge, that thing will be done. That's the beauty of it.
Thank you, Janki.
Megha, are you clear about all this? Are you okay? Since it's your first day. Purity. So service to the preceptor is clear. Service to the preceptor means your understanding that there is nothing you can give to the Guru to make up for what the Guru has given to us. Number one. Number two, the Guru doesn't need anything. Because no true guru ever requires anything from us. You say, at least the guru requires that I should develop myself. No, the guru doesn't require. Why would the guru require it? The guru has no attachment. No true guru. And if you tell Swamiji, do you think he keeps up at night and thinks every day, so many people I have taught, how many of them have grown spiritually? I don't think anyone has grown spiritually. I have wasted my life. Do you think he does all that? Waste his time doing that. He just quietly goes to sleep. No requirement from us. But it is our requirement that we give something back. Now, what will we give back? We can only serve the cause. Purity. Purity means cleanliness at every level of the personality. At the physical level, at the material level, it means cleanliness of our environment. Cupboard is neat and clean. Room is neat and clean. Bed is made. When you take out your shoes, they are not like a divorced couple, one looking east and one looking west. They're put properly together. You're able to do all this stuff. Cleanliness, tidiness, in the material level. At the physical level, cleanliness or purity means clean actions. That means unselfish actions. Pure actions. At the emotional level, dirt means mental agitations, negative emotions. So cleanliness means pure emotions, calm mind. You feel for the whole world and you enjoy the beatitude of just feeling calm about everything. At the intellectual level, dirt means confusion, indecision, not knowing where we are going. So cleanliness at the intellectual level is clarity of thought. At the spiritual level, dirt means vasanas, desires. So cleanliness means just the self-existence. No vasanas. So enlightenment is the ultimate cleanliness. Purity. Steadfastness. We have been discussing steadfastness quite a lot in recent classes, I think. The capacity to stick with whatever you have decided is the right thing to do. It is not an emotional high. And then when the emotional high goes away, the activity is also gone away. No, it is the importance you have seen in that thing. And therefore you do it. Now in the July course, Momita, Nilanjan, and some of you, Ashia, all of you are coming for 1 month. Do you think that in that whole 1 month, your interest, your motivation will stay the same? This is not the nature of the mind. So first week when you're there, you're very enthusiastic. By the time third week comes, you'll say, oh God, main kahan phas gaya ye, kyun kar raha hu? This is natural and to be expected. The point is not how much you feel motivated. The point is how much are you
Dedicated.
committed.
Committed.
That is called steadfastness. Dedicated. Right? Even not necessarily here, even if you go to college. Megha, you go to college? Which college are you in?
Right now, I'm pursuing my master's from National Open University, IGNU.
Okay, great. So Is it that every day you feel the same interest in your subject? No, na? But if you've decided to get that master's, you're going to do it. One day you'll be interested, one subject will be interesting. Now come to the course. Why don't you come to the course, Megan? You're having a course in July. Now, one day when you come, when you're doing your studies, you will be interested in a certain subject. And you will not be. Now, suppose Mamita comes to July. Not suppose, she is coming to July course. Now, maybe she loves yoga. Maybe she doesn't love, I don't know, going for a jog or lifting weights. Then she says, no, I don't want to go for a jog. I will go to my room and read a book. No, steadfastness means whatever is the schedule, you will follow it and follow it and follow it. Some parts you will like, some parts you will not like. But that capacity to keep doing what you need to do, that's what we're trying to build over there, right? It is not just, oh, I feel excited. So steadfastness is your capacity to understand the importance of what you're doing so much that you override the ups and downs of your mind. Overriding the ups and downs of your mind includes that when you're feeling very excited about it, you don't do too much. So when you come in the first week, the subject may be new to you. And then say, oh, wow, this is wonderful. And you want to study more time than what is allocated. No, you're not to do that. You're supposed to only study the allocated time. Say, no, I'm studying. I can't do yoga today because I want to study. No, you have to close the book and go and do yoga. So that is called steadfastness. You have a methodology and you stick to that methodology regardless of the ups and downs of your mind. When your mind is feeling overexcited, you don't do too much. When the mind is feeling demotivated, you don't stop doing. Just go on. What is this? Deep Raj, isn't that worse because we are so close to the knowledge we ignore it? Yes, that's what Jordan Peterson says. Sort yourself out, Baku. Okay. Yes, correct. We don't value it so much in some sense because in India it's there everywhere. Everywhere, everybody will tell you, give you Gnana. So we don't value it. And also we've made it all generalization. Instead of understanding it's a special technical subject, we all keep saying, oh, you should be detached, you should meditate, you should. All random ideas thrown right, left, and center. So yes, so therefore we lose value for it. Deep Raj, lifting 60 kilos on your first day at the gym and then being in hospital for a week. Correct, that's right too. I hope you've not tried all these stunts. So steadfastness is you stay with the schedule. Sometimes you're excited about some activities, sometimes you're not interested in some activities, but you just go by it. And that's the quality that takes us to the goal. Okay, so